Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. Hey folks, you know how much I love catching up on General Hospital after all these years. It's been part of my life like an old friend that just keeps surprising you. Well, lately my heart's been going out to Steve Burton, and I gotta tell you, the whole thing's got me shaking my head and rooting for him at the same time. I remember watching Steve as Jason Morgan for so long, that strong, quiet fella who always handled whatever life threw at him. Turns out real life's been tossing him some pretty tough curveballs too. Just when everybody was thrilled that he was coming back to the show, news broke that he's had to put things on hold again, no set date in sight. And the reason? Another round of heartache with his ex-wife, Cherie. Lord, those two have been fighting in court for what feels like forever. Their marriage wasn't a happy one. And even after the divorce, the battles just kept coming. It's the kind of mess that makes you thankful for the simple, steady love in your own life. But Steve's a good man. He found happiness again with Michelle Lundstrom, and they've built a beautiful family together. When Michelle got pregnant recently, Steve didn't hesitate. He stepped away from everything just to take care of her and the baby, whisking her off for some much-needed rest. That's the kind of husband and daddy I respect. On his social media, he even told the fans he'd be heading back to Port Charles soon, and I swear you could almost hear the cheers from living rooms all across America. We were all smiling, thinking our favorite mob enforcer was coming home. Now, though, it looks like that return might be stuck in the mud for a while longer. There's fresh trouble over custody of their daughter, Brooklyn, who's 11 now. Steve had to take Cherie back to court, hoping the judge will finally sort things out fair and square. From what I've read in those court papers that got out, Cherie hasn't been making things easy on the custody agreement they already had. Steve fought hard and won joint legal and physical custody back in 2023, but according to him, cooperation has been hard to come by. It just breaks my heart a little, you know? Here's a man trying to do right by his new family and his old one, and these old wounds keep pulling him back. I sure hope the court can bring some peace so Steve can get back to doing what he does best on that show we all love. Life's too short for endless fighting, especially when there are little ones and a new baby on the way. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for him, just like the rest of the fans. Hey folks, I tell you what, I sat down with my coffee this morning and read through those court papers that TMZ got a hold of, and it just about broke my heart all over again for Steve Burton. The man's been through enough already, but according to what he's saying in those official documents, Cherie is straight up violating the custody agreement they worked out. He says she flat out refused to let him see their daughter Brooklyn back in July, like it was no big deal. Lord, that just ain't right. Steve put it plain as day. He calls it a pattern of unilateral decision-making and intentional interference. Those are his exact words, and I can feel the frustration jumping off the page. He's not getting the time with his little girl that the court ordered and that they both agreed to. It's like he's fighting for every single hour he's supposed to have, and she keeps moving the goalposts. Makes me shake my head because I've seen too many good dads go through this kind of nonsense over the years. And get this, there was already a schedule set in stone, but Cherie went ahead and signed Brooklyn up for some brand new 6-week program way out in California. Just like that, no discussion, no checking with Steve first. That's completely against the custody deal they signed. Steve's fed up, and I don't blame him one bit. He told the court he's ready to play hardball now because enough is enough. He's not asking for the moon. He just wants what the judge already said is fair. What really gets me, though, is how Steve feels their daughter is being dragged right into the middle of all this unnecessary mess. He says Cherie keeps pushing Brooklyn into these conflicts that no 11-year-old should ever have to worry about. The man feels manipulated, like he's the one paying the price while trying to be a steady dad to both his old family and his new one. Michelle's expecting their baby any time now, and here Steve is, still tied up in courtrooms instead of just enjoying the good things in life. It makes my blood boil a little, I'll be honest. From what I read, Steve's asking the judge to step in strong, make Cherie follow the agreement they both signed, and even hit her with a $5,000 fine to send a clear message. I sure hope the court listens. Nobody wins when parents keep battling like this, especially when a sweet kid like Brooklyn is caught in the crossfire. Steve's a stand-up guy who's worked hard to build a happy home after the tough times. He deserves to get back to General Hospital, back to playing Jason Morgan the way we fans love, without all this weighing on his shoulders. I keep thinking about how short life really is. You spend enough years on this earth, and you learn that the only thing that matters is time with the people you love. I'm pulling for Steve with everything I've got. Here's hoping the judge sorts this out quick and fair so that little girl can have her daddy when she's supposed to, and Steve can finally come home to Port Charles like he promised us. We're all rooting for you, buddy. Hang in there. Hey, folks, I sure hope the judge steps in real soon and finally brings some fairness and peace to this whole custody mess Steve Burton is dealing with. After reading everything that's come out, my heart just goes out to the man. He's been trying so hard to do right by his daughter Brooklyn and his new family at the same time. From the bottom of my heart, I'm wishing Steve Burton all the very best as he works through these family troubles. Nobody deserves to keep fighting these old battles year after year, especially when there's a new baby on the way and a sweet 11-year-old girl who just needs her daddy to be present in her life. Steve seems like a good, stand-up fella who's doing his best, and I truly pray things get settled fairly and quickly so he can finally breathe easy. In the meantime, us longtime General Hospital fans still have something bright to look forward to. From what I'm hearing, Steve could be making his way back as Jason Morgan sometime this summer, and I know I'm not the only one smiling about that news. A whole lot of us are keeping our fingers crossed and saying little prayers that he gets his family matters straightened out so he can come back home to Port Charles where he belongs. The show just feels different without him. That quiet strength, those intense eyes, and the way he always shows up when people need him most. We miss our favorite mob enforcer turned hero. Of course, while we wait, Jason's loved ones on the show are going to have to keep going without him for a little while longer, and that's going to be tough. But let me tell you, there are some folks in Port Charles who really need him right about now. His son, Danny Morgan, that fine young actor, Asher Antonizin, is doing such a great job, is at that important age where a boy needs his father's guidance and steady hand more than ever. Then there's Britt Westbourne, brought back so beautifully by the talented Kelly Thibault. She's been through so much, and I just know she could use Jason's strong shoulder to lean on. And don't even get me started on Carly Spencer, our fiery and big-hearted Laura Wright. Those two have a history that runs deep, and with everything stirring up in town, Carly sure could use Jason's loyalty and protection. From all the latest spoilers and hints about upcoming episodes, Jason's absence is going to leave a big hole in Port Charles. A lot of lives are going to feel the impact. Old wounds reopening, new dangers showing up, and plenty of emotional moments that are going to pull at our heartstrings. The writers are setting things up for some real juicy drama, that's for sure. So keep tuning in, folks. Even without Steve on screen right this minute, the story is heating up, and I have a feeling when he does return, it's going to be powerful. All in all, I'm sending up a little prayer for Steve tonight. May he find real justice and peace in that courtroom. May he enjoy every precious moment with his growing family, and may he get back soon to doing what he does so well on our favorite show. Life's too short for endless fights and legal headaches. Here's hoping brighter, calmer days are just around the corner for Steve, for little Brooklyn, and for all of us who love watching Jason Morgan ride back into town. We miss you, buddy. Take care of what matters most, and come back to us when you can. We'll be right here waiting with open arms and full hearts. God bless.